Welcome to the Spaces and Places Puerto Rico blog. We did a 3-day trip through the north coast of Puerto Rico, stopping in San Juan, Old San Juan, Aguadilla, Luquillo, and Rio Grande. Please enjoy our adventure, and we hope that you get a few pointers as well. Make sure to like, subscribe, and click the bell icon for more.
Early morning right now, Fort Lauderdale Airport. All the parking decks, all parking decks were full. Day after Thanksgiving, trying to get out of here.
Welcome to San Juan. Please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened and your carry-on stowed until the aircraft comes to the company stop at the gate and the captain turns off the fasten seatbelt sign.
Alright guys, so as you can see, we successfully made it to San Juan. And the first thing we did was get ourselves a rental car because we knew that we wanted to drive around and see as much as we could possibly see in the 3 days that we were there. We use budget rental, and I suggest using them if you're going to be renting a car at the airport. They were super fast, super efficient, and we were basically in and out. And this is us just vibing and driving around, checking out San Juan, just super excited to finally be in Puerto Rico. Alright guys, so this is us in Old San Juan. We initially wanted to go to the Fort Castillo San Felipe del Moro, but unfortunately because of COVID it was closed, so we didn't have that full experience of walking around inside the fort. Nonetheless, we got to kind of explore the parameters a bit. Even though we couldn't get in, it was still a nice sight to see because it's not something that you see every day. So we just hung around and took some photos. Well, after walking around the fort for a bit, we decided to take our own little tour of Old San Juan, and we absolutely loved it. It's so pretty. So many colors, so many little shops and restaurants. And one thing we really adored about Old San Juan is all the flags. Puerto Ricans are so proud of Puerto Rico. After we walked around and got our eye full, we decided to get our stomachs full, and we went to a restaurant called The Chapel. At The Chapel, we tried some mofongo, which was delicious, some tacos, and some Puerto Rican beer. And this is where we also met John. John was our waiter, and John gave us some awesome tips on where to go on our day 2 and day 3. We were initially disappointed because we heard the beaches were closed, but we have a little surprise for you on our day 2 of this trip.
We gotta do what we gotta do.
Well, after getting a bite to eat, we decided to take a walk down to the very interesting community of La Perla. La Perla is a historical shantytown located in Old San Juan, and it was originally a community of slaves, homeless people, indentured servants, and it also included a slaughterhouse. Now, in the past, living by the water was undesirable, but now is the most coveted place to be. And the government has tried enticing people to leave La Perla, but La Perla residents defend their right to be there. If you go there, definitely be respectful of the residents, but it's just very, very interesting historical place to see. And there's a basketball court there that was donated by Carmela Anthony, who I believe has some roots in La Perla. Alright guys, so after leaving La Perla, we decided to head out of Old San Juan and into San Juan, where we were actually staying. And on the way, we came across this beach. It's called Condado. The water was super rocky that day, but anyway, because of COVID, there is no swimming allowed, unfortunately. But we were able to just sit down and look at the ocean, which is always relaxing. After checking into the hotel and relaxing for a little bit, we decided to head out and take a look at San Juan at night. Because of the COVID restrictions, there was a 10 p.m. curfew, but we still got out and saw a little bit. And by this time, we were starving. So we drove around and we were looking for a good place to eat and came up on this spot. It is called Lot 23. And I gotta say, it's pretty dope. It's a place with a bunch of different food vendors. It's very attractive, beautiful lighting, and nice vibes. I hear that pre-pandemic, it's usually packed, and I can totally imagine that in my head that this place would be packed because it just looks like a cool hangout spot you want to bring your friends. But anyway, we'll be back to Puerto Rico post pandemic, and we definitely will be stopping at Lot 23 again. All right, day 1 is a wrap. It was a fun day. This is just us chilling by the pool. And now on to day 2. Okay, guys, welcome to our day 2, where we decided to take a little road trip. And based on advice from John, who we met in our day 1 at the chapel, we decided to drive from San Juan into the city of Aguadilla. Aguadilla is located on the northwestern tip of Puerto Rico, and it has been established since the late 1700s. Now, the first stop we took was at an abandoned aircraft that has become a little art space for local artists to come and express themselves. And it's also a place that people stop and take photographs, so these are some shots that we took there. All right, guys, so after leaving the aircraft, we headed over to the beautiful and captivating Crash Boat Beach. Apparently, many people do come to Aguadilla just to spend a day at this beach. It is so nice, and it quickly became one of my favorites. If you ever make it over to this side of Puerto Rico, you've got to add Crash Boat to your itinerary. You will not regret it. So if we could, we would have stayed at this beach the entire day. But because of the 10 p.m. curfew, we knew that we had to keep it moving because we had other places to see. We decided to venture out into town and have a look at the Mac Memorial, which was designed by Samuel Gonzalez Rodriguez and his Pintato project. He transformed this community into a vibrant beauty that is an eyeful. Here's a photo of it. So after getting our eye full with the Mac Memorial, we decided to take a walk down the street and bumped into a little street vibes. It was dope. It seems that Aguadilla has a Jeep and car culture, and people are out there vibing, having a nice time. So we stepped out, we started vibing too, man. It was a good little thing that happened there. And the final stop for us in Aguadilla was a local beach called Rompeolas, also known as Tamarindo. It was a nice little spot for you to go if you're staying in town. All right, folks, day 2 is a wrap. This is us heading back to San Juan, which is about an hour and a half drive. It looks really dark right now, but it's only 6 p.m. Nonetheless, we wanted to make it back in time for the 10 p.m. curfew. On to day 3. All right, guys, this is our final day, day 3 of our trip. And because we had a late flight, we decided to drive out of San Juan into Luquillo and check out the beach and the kiosks. This is a drone shot of the kiosks into the beach. They happen to be right beside each other. And this location is so dope, you guys. It's an awesome place to go lounge by the beach and have a great beach day. And then step out not too far away and get something really awesome to eat. Unfortunately, because of the COVID restrictions, we weren't able to swim or lounge on the beach, but we were able to walk around and take in the beauty. So guys, we found this local river flowing into Luquillo Beach. If you're from the islands, it's probably something you've seen before. If not, take a look at this. It's really cool and definitely a window into how amazing Mother Nature is. After taking a walk through the beach, we decided to step over to the kiosk, which is a cluster of little restaurants and little shops with local Puerto Rican food. We decided to stop at this place and we tried some conch and lobster empanadas. And I gotta say, it tastes as good as it sounds, is what I'm trying to say. We enjoyed every piece of it. And we also tried some mojitos, and we had Magna, which is a Puerto Rican beer. Okay, after taking a lovely walk on the beach and indulging in something delicious in Luquillo, we decided to go one town over to visit El Yunque in Rio Grande. Unfortunately, because of the COVID restrictions, we weren't able to explore this beautiful national rainforest as much as we wanted to, but they were nice enough to let us in for a little bit so we can just have a peek at it. And I gotta say, it is beautiful. We enjoyed the little time that we were able to spend there. So we were able to take some photos at that little part of El Yunque that they allowed us to see. These are some pretty flowers that were there. And this is a shot of the view. Look at the mountains. It was breathtaking. And we were able to do a mini hike up one of the smaller waterfalls at the entrance. But guys, at this point, it's a wrap for our trip to Puerto Rico. We had an awesome time, even though it was during COVID. And by the way, if you have questions about the process, please drop a comment below. We'll be happy to respond to you. Please, if you enjoyed this video, like, subscribe, click the bell icon because we have more to share with you. Thank you. It was a pleasure.